Can y'all hear me? All right, there we go. I don't think I'm getting the audio I want, but as you come in, give us a thumbs up. Let me grab some water. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm here. And as y'all can see the topic, we all know the stock market is at an all-time high, and people have been asking me the question of, I've been hearing it all the time. People are like, "Hey, I just want to wait till the market crashes," all the other great stuff. So we're gonna jump into that. I don't know why my microphone is not plugged in, but whatever. So give me a thumbs up as you come in before we jump into the topic. All right. I may need to grab my water too. Yeah. All righty. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody out there. Y'all come in, give it a thumbs up. We're going to get into it today. Simple topic. We're going to have a nice little conversation today. Right? We'll be on a little bit. I'm going to give you guys 4 reasons for everybody that's on the sideline out there that's, thinking the same way that I thought as well. But now I got my microphone as a prop because it's not working the way I want it. So I'll give me 1 second. Let me grab some water. We're going to jump straight into this topic. And to give people, we're going to start at the 2-minute, 30-second mark. So I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to come right back. Then we're going to jump right into the stock market being at an all-time high and what you can do to, should you wait? Should I wait for the next crash or should I jump in now? All right, y'all give me 1 second. Thought I was going to have to get up and go, but it's not right here. All right. So, 1 second. We're live now on YouTube. Check out the Investor Show on YouTube. Come on over and check us out as we're going to be talking about investing now or waiting until the next market crash. All right. That's on my Instagram. So let's jump into it. No further ado. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful state of Denver, Colorado. As you're coming in live, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. Hit the thumbs up button and all the other great stuff. But as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so let's jump straight into it. So here we go. Everybody has seen the stock market is at an all-time high. We've seen President Trump talk about the stock market being at an all-time high. We are in the longest running bulls that we have ever seen. For everybody there that's not familiar with a bull is the market going up. We've never seen this, it's the longest running bull, a whole decade. We've seen the market come back since the 2008 crisis. Now everybody's out there saying, man, the market is so hot. Do I want to jump in now or do I want to wait? Right? Should I wait or should I jump in now? So that's the topic we're going to talk about today. Feel free to chime in. You can catch me out live. I could set up the phone line if y'all want me to, but I didn't set that up. But anyway, you can chat for the people that are catching this live on YouTube. Should I invest now or should I wait with the stock market being at an all-time high? So the first thing is, I'm going to give you 4 reasons. I'm going to give you 4 reasons. I'm going to give you my opinion. We're going to walk it down, and I'm going to give you 4 reasons, and we're going to do slight math, right? All right. First thing is, when you're looking to invest, if you're looking to use stocks as an investment, you're not looking for this quarter, this month, this year. Generally, if you're investing into stocks, you're looking for a 5-year span, meaning that here you are in 2020, this is money you're looking for 5 years and beyond. Long-term investment, right? So with a long-term investment, we don't care what happens tomorrow, today, next week, or at the end of the year. We're looking for 5 years down the line. That's what I'm looking for with the world of investing. So with me, for everybody that's standing on the sideline with their money, that's what you're really doing. You're watching the game, and the game is getting hot and crazy, and you don't know if you want to jump in. So you turn around and you're trying to wait, right? You're trying to say, "Well, let me wait, let me see before I get into the world of investing. I got my money on the side. I don't know what I want to do, right?" So for the people that are waiting on the side, if you know that I'm going 5 years down the line, I'm going to tell that particular person, hey, you should get into the game. Why you should get into the game? Because I don't care. Take me for example. I don't care if the stock market crashes Tuesday morning, Monday morning, the end of the year in December, November. I don't care. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in now. The reason why I'm going to jump in now, because I want to uh, earn my money now, right? Because I'm looking 5 years down the line. If the market does crash tomorrow, today, or whatever the case may be, I'm not going to sell anything. Because why? I'm not investing for now. I'm investing for 5 years down the line. So my first reason is if you are a long-term investor, why do you care about what happens tomorrow, today, or in December? Number two, and the number two reason, or I would say 1A, is that if the market was to crash, you're not looking to sell anyway. For prime example, I'm looking to buy me a house in the fall, right? The house cost me $400,000. Say if as soon as I buy that house, market crashes and it goes down to $350,000, right? The market has crashed to $350,000, right? Now, have I lost money? No, my house has lost value, but I haven't lost money. I don't lose money until I sell. If my house go down and I say, hey, you know what? I'm done with it. Get me out of this house. Yes, I have lost the money, right? So that means, yes, I have lost the money, right? So that's the things you have to look at. That's the things you have to see right now. So rule number one, this is a long-term investment. You don't care for what's happening now. You're looking at what's happening down the line, right? So you don't care. You're a long-term investor. Number two, as you're coming in, you like the content, you like what we're doing live, hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button as you're catching this live. Number two, if you're waiting on the market to crash, that means that you know how to pick the bottoms. What I mean is when you saying you know how to pick the bottoms is that when the market goes up, you know how to catch the up, but you don't know how to catch the, the market goes up, it goes down, and you're waiting for the lowest point. Ask this question: how do you know when the market is at its lowest point? Is it a 1,000 point drop? Is it a 10% drop, 30% drop, 50% drop? What drop is it? You don't know, right? So that's the thing you have to be wary of. That's the thing you have to be mindful of when you're looking to jump into the market. You have to ask yourself, can you pick the bottoms? There are people out there who get paid millions of dollars to pick the bottoms, and they can't. These are people who've been in the market for 20, 30, 40 years. They got all type of degrees, all type of experience. They have all the connections, all of the data. They eat and sleep to pick bottoms, and 93% of them can't pick the bottom, right? So you as an everyday person, by you saying, hey, I'm going to wait till the market crash, is saying you know how to pick the bottom. And if you know how to pick the bottom, please call, write, email, or text me and tell me you know how to pick the bottoms of market, because we're going to go get extremely wealthy, right? And if, I'm just saying that not to be, funny or anything like that, but to say that most people can't do it. And with me, if I can't beat you, I join you. I'm not smart enough to go out here and say I can pick the bottom, but you can't do it, right? So we got a comment. Woke one say, "Hey Prince, brought more Uber and PG&E. PG&E, I'm not very familiar with, but Uber, okay. I've been not a very big, but I've been a nice investor in Uber ever since December, and it's been a nice running for my portfolio." But back to what I was saying. By you saying I'm going to wait till the bottom comes, that means that you're saying, hey, I know how to pick the bottom. How many people out there can logistically pick bottoms, right? I mean, it's easy to look at a chart and say, oh, that was the bottom. Look in the past. Oh, that's the bottom. Let me go buy it, right? So that's number one. Number two, the bull market is when the market is going up. The bear market is when the market is going down. What do you think in the last 100 and something years since the stock market's been around? What do you think we have more, bulls or bears? Right? We have more bulls or bears? Optimistic people or pessimistic people? Which one we have more of? Do we have more people thinking the market is going to go up, or do we have more people thinking the market is going to go down? Right? So not what people say, but what does the market do when you look at the chart? This is factual. This is not what I'm saying and thinking. So it doesn't take a rocket science to say that the market goes up more than it goes down. So when the market does go down, how long does the bear, when the market is going down, that's a bear market, how long does the bear stick around? The bear sticks around on average about 2 years. The longest the bear has stayed around was about 5 years, and that was around that was right after the worst market crash that we ever had in 2009. Not 2009, in 1929, and that's to the Great Depression, right? So why, if I am investing for the future, and if I'm going long term, why would I sit around and wait for the bear? Right? Something that comes in every now and then. That bear comes running out the cage. It hangs around for about a year or two, then it goes back in the cage. Why would I, if I'm a long-term investor, why, and I'm trying to accumulate, why would I sit back and worry about the bear? Oh, the Debbie Downer. What it reminds me of. Being in the military, working the shift. Sometimes you may get a good shift to where you may not work that much. You may be working 3 hours a day or something like that, and you have that person around you saying, "Man, I know we getting good food and we're working short hours, but man, this is not going to last long. I'm telling you guys, this is not going to last long. Somebody new is going to come in, and we're going to be working 13-hour days with whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen, right?" That's what everybody run around and say. Okay, we got a message real quick. Okay, Pacific Gas and Electric. They are at $3 in December, back up to $16 now. Wow. Just reached a settlement with California. We will be headed back to 50 to 16 maybe. Okay. Let me write that down. Pacific Gas. PG&E. Thank y'all for the stock tips too. Appreciate that, Wolf One. All right. But you always have that pessimistic person that says, "Yeah, I know it's good now, but hey, wait till I know your relationship is good now. Wait till you get married. Yeah, I know you're married now, but wait till you have kids. I know it's good now that you have kids, but wait till you lose your job, or wait till the economy goes down. Just wait. Oh man, it's going to be bad." You always have that person around. And guess what I say? When the music is playing, you got to dance. Right? When the music is playing, you got to dance. I read that on this documentary. I saw this on a documentary, right? And the whole idea is, yes, we know it's going to rain. Everybody knows it's going to rain, but guess what? While I have sunshine, I'm going to enjoy it, right? You're always going to get that person. I see investors that's been walking around for 5 or 6 years, been talking about how the market's going to crash, and they're going to say that until the market crash. And when it crashes, they're going to act like they're a genius, but they're talking about something that we all know is going to happen. I live here in Denver, Colorado. That's like when the market, it's like some days we get a nice, bright, sunny day here in Denver, right? And then there's somebody's walking around saying, "Guess what? It's going to snow. It's going to snow. Man, watch out. It's going to snow." We're like, okay, well, while it's here, I'm going to enjoy the nice weather. But guess what's going to happen? When it does snow, that person's going to be like, "What I told you." No, you don't really get points for that because we know it's going to snow. The question is when. Now, if the person come out and says, "Hey, the market's going to crash on March 16th at 3 p.m. and it does, that's when I give you points. All right. Okay, Jawan, that's what they said. Jawan 19 said, "Which stocks are recession proof in your opinion?" Woke One says utilities. They're correct. Utilities and consumer staples are stock recession proof. Consumer staples, there's an index called Dow Jones Consumer Staples. Consumer staples are companies that, regardless of what the economy is doing, people are going to still do it. For prime example, companies like Colgate, people are going to brush their teeth and take showers, hopefully, whether the market is up or down, we're in a recession or not, right? Things like Coca-Cola, companies like Coca-Cola, people will continue to drink Coca-Cola regardless of what the market is doing, right? The market is up or down. Those are consumer staples. Those are staples in the economy that are pretty much recession proof, that even in the worst times of the economy, people are going to do. So, I can't think of all of the companies that are in there, but they're called consumer staples. Another thing is gold, gold and bonds, right? When equities get crazy, when we go into recession and markets are crashing and crashing, and people are trying to save their money, fund managers are trying to cut their losses and stop their clients from losing so much money. What we're going to do, they're going to move to things that are going up. They're going to move to things like gold. They're going to move to things like precious metals. They're going to move to consumer staples. They're going to move to utilities. These are things that you're going to see spike or to start to go up, because like utilities, like Woke One said, it doesn't matter if the market crashes tomorrow. I'm still going to use the toilet, right? I'm still going to turn on these lights. I'm still going to have water, right? So utilities are kind of recession proof. The things that are going to get hit hard is the consumer. My lips are getting, it's a little dry up here. Things that are going to get hard are things that are considered consumer discretionary. These are companies that they fluctuate with how well the economy is doing. Think about it, right? You're not going to be going to the movie theaters that much, and you're not going to be renting cars and living the high life, eating out as much when your money is limited. You're going to think twice about it. You're not going to have a nice day on the beach when money is funny, right? So that's the way I want you to think about it. So next one is, I don't want to walk around. Yeah, I know the guy who's going to say, Prince, economy is going to go down. We know that. But guess what? While the music is playing, you got to dance. While the music is playing, you got to dance. When the market is going up, I got to play with it, because I can't pick the bottoms. And if you could pick the bottoms, you would be one of the richest men in the world right now. And people will pay you millions and millions of dollars to pick bottoms, right? And if you could pick bottoms accurately, you would be making trillions of dollars, right? So with that being said, if you can't beat them, what do they say when you can't beat them? You join them. Number 4, everybody that's tuned in now or that would catch the playback, you are in the accumulation phase. There's 2 phases of investing: accumulation, preservation. Accumulation, preservation. I said preservation. Preservation. You want to preserve. You're in a point where you're accumulating, you're bringing in money. Then you're at a point where you now want to preserve that money and live off of it. So everybody's really in 2 phases. What phase do you think everybody is tuned into right now? 99.9% of you guys and girls just tuning in across the globe and that will catch the playback, you are in the accumulation phase, meaning that when you are young, when you are 19, 20, 25, 35, 40, whatever your age is, let's take me, I started working at the age of 16. I was definitely not investing. Wish I was, but at the age of 16, I wish I'd had an Uncle Prince at the time, but I didn't, right? But from the age of 16 all the way into the age of 50, this is your 45 or 40, whenever your retirement age desire to be, or it could be 60, it could be 65. Let's say for me, from 16 to 50, I'm in my accumulation phase, meaning I'm trying to make as much money as humanly possible. I want the biggest returns on the investments that I can earn. I want to build the biggest nest egg possible during from 16 to 50, the accumulation phase. However you do it, maybe you have a job, maybe you sell something, however you bring your income in, you accumulate as much wealth as humanly possible, right? 90% of you guys are in this phase right now where you're trying to get to the retirement age. So you're accumulating. So you want to get the biggest returns on investments that you can get. So you're accumulating, right? So when you're in the accumulation phase, guess what's going to happen the next phase, once you get to 50? Now you're 50 years old. Let's say if you accumulated a nest egg of $2.5 million. Good on you, right? You got $2.5 million. Now you're 50 years old. You plan on living to 80. Now you want to preserve that $2.5 million. And you don't want to have it in the market where it's going up and down. You want to preserve that, and you want to live off that for the rest of your life, and maybe even pass something down to your kids, right? So that's that's the person who's trying to preserve the preserve phase, right? So right now you're in the accumulation phase. So to think about it, um, oh wow, look, Woke One gave me a $3.99 donation. I opened a TD Ameritrade account because of you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely, I don't care nothing about the $3.99, but I'm really just shocked of impact. That's what I look for, impact. That somebody said, hey, because of you, I listened. I opened up a TD Ameritrade account, and TD Ameritrade need to do something, talk to me or whatnot, right? So anyway, thank you, definitely thank you, Woke One. She opened up a TD Ameritrade, he or she opened up a TD Ameritrade account and made a donation to the channel. Definitely greatly appreciate that. But anyway, back to it. You are in the accumulation phase. You want to make as much money as possible. You're not worried about downturns, because guess what's happening when you're in the accumulation phase and the economy takes a downturn? You're going to buy more. You're going to buy straight through it. Now I'm going to get into this other part. This is 5. I'm going to give you 5 next. 5 is going to be the little secret sauce. So y'all stick by. For the people that's catching, you're going to get 5, but I'm going to give you 4 right now. 4 is, if I'm in the accumulation phase, I'm trying to make as much money as possible. I'm not worried about a downturn. I'm actually happy when the downturn comes, because I'm going to buy straight through it. The stock market crashes Tuesday morning. Guess what I'm going to do? Shout out to my man EMS for that. But I'm going to say, I'm going to start licking my chops. I'm going to be happy, because I'm going to say, hey, this is my opportunity to be able to get things on sale. Just like if you was a shopper, you're going to be happy when things go on sale. I hope an economy downturn comes when I'm in the preservation, but in the accumulation phase. So, but the person who's sitting on the sideline with all their money, that's bad. I don't know what currency this country is from, but I was overseas a long time ago. I brought this money from overseas. It's been sitting around my house. I don't know. But anyway, let's take, that's the first thing I saw. Let's say you sit over here with your money, just waiting for the perfect time to get in, just waiting and waiting. I've known my friends who've been sitting back, who've been waiting for the last 25 years, right? I've been seeing people go back since the last 25 years, right? Not 25 years, 5 years, since 2015 when Trump came in office. Oh man, the market's gonna crash now. I've been waiting on this crash. So they're sitting there with their money, waiting on the crash, right? And they spent the last 5 years waiting and waiting and waiting. They've missed out on 40% return. I'm going to tell you, a guy I works with, he came to me and said, Prince, I got $250,000. I had it in the market. This was probably last year, was 2019, 2018, end of 2018. Prince, this market's going to crash. I'm going to take my $250,000 and I'm going elsewhere. And I said, why? He's like, look, it's due for a crash. It's going to happen. And he pulled his money out. Last year, the market went up about 30%, right? 30% on 250,000. That's probably about what? I don't know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more than that. But, that he missed out on of his portfolio growing, because he pulled his money out of the market. He pulled his $250,000 out of the market and said, hey, I'm going to wait till the market crash. Then I'm going to jump back in. Then I'm going to just catch it at the bottom. And then the money's going to go up. Easy to say, right? The easy to say, oh, I'm going to jump out there. I'm going to jump back in. And you know what? If you were that good, you would be a trillionaire by now, right? You would get paid millions and millions of dollars. If I got blessed, if God blessed me with the opportunity to be able to pick bottoms and I could do that or whatnot, I would sell it for millions and millions of dollars, right? But guess what? The best in the world can't do it. The Warren Buffetts of the world say, hey, you know what? I can't pick bottom. Yes, I can tell you maybe what type of economical cycle we're in. Yes, we will have another recession. Yes, we will never have a bull. But guess what? When the music is playing, you got to dance, right? Because you're in accumulation phase. I can see this person was retired or about to retire, retirement age, then that would make sense. I need to go to a safer investment. But if you're 20s and you're in your 30s and, and you're talking about, I'm waiting on the next recession and I got all this money and I'm keeping it to the side, you're going to look crazy, right? 1 second. So don't fall for that. Number 5, people are saying, hey, JB say, hey man, the Fed is pumping billions of dollars into the economy. People, Rob, when you're in the accumulation phase, your job is to accumulate. And if the train is going, when the music is playing, you got to dance. When they're feeding me good food, I'm not going to sit here. That would be like us. Let's say we was in jail or prison, right? And we're getting, the warden is feeding us great food. I mean, the food is awesome. Do you think I'm going to look at the food and kind of wonder where it's coming from? Hey, guys, the warden is stealing this food from his own, people are stealing food, and that's why we're eating so good. You're like, okay, I'm gonna look at you and say, oh wow, that's what they're doing. Yeah, I heard he's taking the money from this and putting it here, and or whatnot. So we're not supposed to have this food. Okay. In the meanwhile, you know what I'm going to do, JB? I know I'm very familiar with quantitative easing. You're talking about QE, quantitative easing, where he's talking about the Fed is pumping money into the market to keep the money afloat. Something they started back in 2008, part of the stimulus plan. Right? And they're saying that's what's propping up the market, it's fake or whatever the case may be. But anyway, while I'm sitting there, but guess what? While I'm going to eat, who is this? Al, what's this? Al, I can't even say your name last name. Al brought up Charles Payne. You know what? I'm actually finishing up Charles Payne's book, and I'll be doing a book review on it soon. I want to get Charles Payne on the show, but I know he's on Fox Business. And my interaction with Fox Business, usually people on Fox can't do other affiliates, so they got some type of exclusive contract or whatever. But I love to have Charles Payne on. He hosts that show called Making Money with Charles Payne. And I'm like on chapter 8, halfway through chapter 8 of his book, pretty much majority done. I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to do a book review on that. What's the name of it? Unstoppable Prosperity. Yeah, that's the book I'm in. That might be Charles Payne on an alias. It might be. I did an unwrapping. Y'all see me do an unwrapping of his book, but I'm going to do a book review, do a book review of the book, what I learned out of it, the good takes and stuff like that. Somebody say great book, right? But we're going to talk about that. But everybody says, hey, Prince, we're in a bubble, but guess what? I'm only going to be, Max B said, what's up with the book club? I gotta organize it, Max. You holding me accountable. That's what I like about Max. I did say, hey, start a book club and us reading books together and what we learned about the different books and stuff like that or whatnot. What really got me behind? I picked up the book Security Analysis by Benjamin Graham. Right, that was Warren Buffett's mentor from Columbia University. That was written way back in the 30s. It's a little dry, and it's a thick book. It's a Bible, pretty much. And it's a Bible. The next book I want to read is Wealth of a Nation. People are saying, Prince, and that book got me behind because it was so, the book is like this thick. So that book pretty much got me behind. So I had to stop it in a little bit. I only think I was 25% of the way through. I had to stop it a little bit to do Charles Payne book, finish up Charles Payne book, do a review on his before I can. That's the only bad part about having those big, thick books. So, yeah. But, I'm going to get back into it. I don't want to give too much. I don't want to get any spoilers, but we'll see. He said that book is bigger than the Bible. It takes 3 years to read. But I think that's one of his top books. He said that was his number 2 book, and his number 1 book was Wealth of a Nation. So I'm trying to make it through it. I'm trying to, and what I really do love about that book is giving me a lot of insight of how people thought back in the 30s and 40s, back when the SEC didn't even exist. The Securities Exchange Commission didn't even exist. When you brought a stock, there was no annual reports. There was no financial media. You just brought a stock and just got a quote on it a year later or something like that or whatnot. That was, I think about that now. I'm thinking that's crazy. But now the SEC kind of got formed after the 1929 market crash. They had no regulation. It was like the Wild Wild West back then. But and reading that book, people thought the world was going to end by the 70s. They thought the world was going to be over by the 70s. They thought America was going to be done by the 70s. And I would like to look at those people now and say, man, they can imagine we're in 2020 right now. Right. So anyway, I'm going to get into that. Give me a thumbs up if you're liking the content as you're coming in. I'm going to formulate that book club or whatnot or whatever the case may be. But anyway, if you haven't, check out the Wesley Learns book series. If you haven't purchased your copy of the Wesley Learns series, purchase it for your kids, your nephews. Read it with your kids, your nephews, your nieces, your grandchildren, your children. And if you already have read it, get it to your other children, right? Okay, JB said, I don't know if you guys read tape, but the bid size and volumes don't add up to all-time highs. Explain that, JB. Woke One says, sold my Lyft stock when their earnings report came out the past week. Was expecting better results, but I'm glad I sold, brought more Uber. Woke One, you didn't watch my episode, did you? My episode was called Uber versus Lyft. That was last year. Which one would I invest into? And I broke it down, and I told you Uber. Well, that was my synopsis, right? And I ended up getting Uber later on. So, but I did a close synopsis of Uber. But Lyft didn't do bad. You know what really hurt Lyft in the earnings report? Uber came out. Uber and Lyft said we don't plan on to be profitable until the end of 2021, right? And everybody said, okay, end of 2021, that's when we plan on being profitable, right? Then Uber came out with their results and said, scratch that. I know we said we're going to be profitable by the end of 2021, but we're changing that. We're going to be profitable by the end of 2020, right? That was the guidance. That's called a guidance. That's the most important thing of an earnings call. And guess what Uber did? Uber shot up 10% in one day, right? And then Lyft came out 2 days later. Now everybody's saying, hey, Lyft, are you going to change your profitability date like Uber did? And everybody said, and Lyft said, oh, no, we're keeping our regular Lyft date. We're not planning on being profitable until 2021. And everybody was like, oh, bad guidance. And that guidance was led by Uber. I think if Uber would have kept their date, I think Lyft would have had a better earnings report. But that was a big thing that I saw. That was the guidance is what killed Uber, JB said, I missed not getting Spice. My friend made 50K on an option. SPC, I don't know what that is. Yeah, woke one. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So when Lyft came in and said, hey, we're going to keep everything as normal, that's when everybody said, what? Well, your number one competitor in your space is being profitable a year early, and you're not being profitable until a year later. Bad guidance. Space traveling IPO. What I told y'all about IPOs. What Prince do with IPOs? How do I feel about IPO? Y'all tell JB what I do, how I think about IPOs. Anyway, so the number 5 thing, how portfolios get wiped out. This might be a whole other episode. How do portfolios get wiped out during a market crash? How do people lose everything? Why do people jump out the building on a market crash? Why? How does that happen? And I was sitting back and I was studying the market crash of 2019. I was studying the market crash of 2008. And I was seeing what made fund managers jump out of the building and, lose all their money or whatnot. Some people said, JB said they don't hedge their position. What I learned is that number one, leverage. Using leverage. Meaning I have $10,000 a day, but I'm trading $100,000 account. I have $10,000 cash, but I'm trading $100,000 account. So everything is fine and dandy in the bull market with that leveraged account until that bear comes taking off running out of their cage. That bear taking off running out of their cage, guess what happens? Now all that money that you leveraged, you lost, plus you lost the cash. So not only did your stuff go down, you still owe all these other people or the money that you borrow. So leverage. People that are using margin, people that are maxing out their credit card in order to go buy a bunch of stocks, it's all good and dandy as long as the market is going up and you're making money, as long as you're on the right side of the market. But the moment you're on the wrong side of the market, That's when the people jump out of the building. People who buy options, people who purchase a bunch of call options on the Dow Jones for December, they have a bunch of those, and the market takes a downturn, and those things become worthless, and they can't bounce back. Those are the people. Number one, leverage, 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 leverage. Borrowing money to invest is one of the big reasons why people run into problems. Number two, like Warren Buffett likes to call them weapons of mass destruction, right? Or investments of mass destruction. They destroy a portfolio, right? Leap calls, like you said, leap calls, things like that. That's what kills portfolio. That's what makes people jump out of the building, right? Take me, for example. It was at a time when my portfolio was just a bunch of options. I got so used to 10% in a day, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100%, 200% in a day, 400% in a weekend, that I couldn't fathom making 10% in a year. That was crazy to me. I was always chasing the big boys. So what does that make you do? Now you got a portfolio full of options. And soon as that portfolio, as soon as you're on the wrong side of the market, that portfolio is worth zero. So that's number one. Number two, what makes everybody go broke? The number two reason, investing in unstable companies. Your companies that you're invested in using a lot of leverage. Prime example, Tesla, right? Tesla is using a lot of debt to fund its growth. Meaning, let's say if you start a company and you know how you get all these ads that come across, oh, get $100,000 to start your business. Get a $100,000 business line of credit. So you get $100,000 from this business and you're surviving off of this line of credit coming from the bank to fund your business. It's all going good as long as you pay that bank back. But as soon as we hit an economical downturn and that company calls away its debt, that's when that company runs into a problem. And if you are investing into companies like that, unprofitable companies, aka Uber, if we had a market crash tomorrow, Uber might just disappear and never return, right? But when you look at the MAGA companies, who know what the MAGA companies are? Tell me the MAGA companies. Who are the MAGA companies? Hopefully I'm saying that right. These are the $1 trillion companies. Who are the $1 trillion companies? There's four of them. MAGA, acronym, should be easy to guess. But those are the companies who can withstand a downturn. Take Warren Buffett, who has a Berkshire Hathaway, has 128. You're right, Google. Yep, that's two. There's two more. Berkshire Hathaway has 128 billion, 30 billion in cash. Microsoft is another one. No Netflix. Microsoft is part of the MAGA. Google, aka Alphabet, is part of the MAGA. You're missing one. One starts with an A. You're missing another A. Google is Alphabet. Apply. You mean Apple, I think you need to say. It's Apple. Right? Apple is the last one. So you got, y'all said Apple. It's Microsoft. Y'all got me missing up. It's Amazon. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, JB, you got it right. He said Amazon. That's it. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Apple. Those are tech companies. Those are $1 trillion market cap companies. So those are the companies who have crossed over in their lifespan $1 trillion worth of market capitalization. So those companies can withstand the next market turn. Uber, not so much. Lyft, not so much. Tesla, not so much. All these other companies, they may not be able to withstand a downturn in the economy, right? That's what people get wiped out, right? Woke once said Apple, but JB has already had said Apple, right? So you have, he said Apple split one more time so you can get in. Come on, JB, it's just $300. I know you got it. Come on, you can get a share. So those are the big companies that can withstand a downturn in the economy. Most of these companies, like your Teslas, your Ubers, your Lyft, they may not be able to take a downturn, right? They may not be able to afford a downturn. So when you look at these things, you have to be very mindful of And think about it. I want to tell y'all this. Before Apple, when Apple split the last time, how much was Apple? How much was Apple trading when they split the last time? I want to see how long y'all been around. Or how well you can use Google. So while y'all figure that out, so number one, people using leverage money, borrowed money. Number two, people using not only leverage money, people are using. You're right, JBiz. It was $700. Apple was $700, and it did a 7-for-1 split. Went down to 100. Now it's at 300. He said, "Let me Google it for you." But but yes, that was 700. It was $700 before the last split. So do I think it's going back to 700? I bet everything in my account is going to 700 eventually, right? That's why I own some. Not it's probably not going to be overnight. Maybe not by the end of the year, but it'll definitely get back to 700. Exactly. Google went up. Apple was $700 per share, and it split itself down to $100. So all you people that are looking at $300 saying, "Oh man, that's expensive." I remember when Apple was $700 a piece, right? And if you know, like I know, 300 ain't that bad. So I'm someone who it would be like we know Amazon is. This is going to happen. Right now, Amazon is at $2,000, right? And everybody's going to say, "Man, that's expensive." Amazon is going to do. Let's say Amazon did a 3-for-1 split. I don't know why I chose 3, but let's say a 3-for-1 split would brought Amazon down to $800, right? With 800, yeah, say if it took it down to $800 for simple math. Everybody's going to be looking at this saying, "Wow, $800. Amazon's at $1,000, man. That's a lot of money. I can't believe that. I needed to do another split." But you're going to be like, "Man, I remember Amazon was at $2,000. That's how I look at Apple. I remember Apple was trading for 700, right? So the thing about it is the people who use leverage money and the people who buy risky companies that are funded by debt are non-profitable companies that can't make it through an economic downturn. So those are the people who companies just go woo, disappear, right? So the thing about it is, Prince, how do you get around them? 1, invest cash. 2, invest in the good, sturdy companies. And if you do invest into a Uber, or if you do invest into a Lyft or a Tesla, you do it just a little bit. You don't go in there and go over the top and go crazy. So that's why I'm not worried about the next economical downturn. All I look at the next economical downturn is these are companies that I in my portfolio is things like Google, is things like I got some index funds in there, of course, some Google in there, some Microsoft is in there. Who else is in there? Google, Microsoft, Apple, Lockheed Martin was in there for a little minute. Some other great companies, right? And I have some bonds. I'm making money every month off of bonds, dividends. And when the market crashed, as those bonds go up, I'm going to sell those bonds and I'm going to look to get into some more things. And I do have a little Uber. I do have a little Tesla. Those are just a little sprinkle on the top of the portfolio. So if the market was to go down, let's say if Tesla or Uber just disappeared, my whole portfolio is not going to disappear, right? The likelihood of my whole portfolio disappearing, we got some big problem that we see trillion-dollar companies just disappear, which can happen. No, I do not have a strictly dividend portfolio, JBiz. Come on, JBiz, listen to me. I said I had Google. So Google doesn't pay dividends. And the reason why I'm not big on dividend, I was big on dividend paying stocks, but the reason why is that companies that usually pay dividends usually don't grow that much, right? And what I mean by they don't grow that much, they don't appreciate in value as much as companies that don't. Redfin, let me write that down. I already got PG&E on here, Pacific Gas. Let me like Redfin. I don't know why my thing want to be a little limp. But yeah, for the people that's catching this late, who's sitting on the sideline, who's thinking, "Man, I got my tax return. I've been waiting on the market to crash. I was waiting last year. I'm waiting this year." It says all-time high. Rule number 1, dollar cost average. I'm not saying if you got $5,000, $10,000, go dump it in Monday morning, Tuesday morning. I'm saying, hey, every month you need to start putting something on it. You need to be putting in $200 every month. The market crash, you put a little bit more. Market dips come, you put in a little bit more. That's how you're going to do it, right? You just buy a little bit on a consistent basis, right? That's what you need to do. You got it? So the reason why, number 1, if you're waiting on the market crash, that means that you know how to pick the bottom. And how many of y'all can pick the bottom? If you can pick the bottom, you'll be making trillions of dollars on Wall Street right now. Not millions, not billions, but trillions. People will pay you trillions to tell them when the bottom is coming. So you can't pick the bottom in most cases. And I can say can't. I don't like to use the word can't, but let's say statistically it's not against you. It's like going to the casino, and what is the likelihood of you walking out of there beating the casino? Pretty slim to none. So picking bottoms is pretty slim to none. Since I can't pick the bottom, I don't know when the bottom is coming. I need to invest on a consistent basis. Guys and girls coming in, as you're coming in, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, let your friends, family, cousin, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, all of this stuff too. Second thing is, if you're investing into stocks or if you're looking to get into stocks, you should not be investing for a year or two. You should be investing for 5 years or so, right? Number 3, there are more bulls than bears. We know the bear market will come. We know the bear's in the cage. The bull is running wild right now. We know that bear is going to come, but we know when we look at investing, there are more bulls than bears. So when there are more bulls than bears, so the biggest thing is if there are more bulls, when the bear comes out, it's only around for 2 years, right? It's only around for about most recessions and downturns in the economy last about 2 years. So if I'm investing for the next 20 years, why do I want to play to the small percentage of what can happen? That's like I'm building a game plan, and we're saying a football team. Well, you know what? This football team, every once in a blue moon, they bring a bear out and it runs the football. Why would I build a game plan about 2% of what's going to happen? I'm going to build it around riding the bull. Ride the bull, dance while the music is playing. Because if that bear does come out, I'm going to invest straight through it. So number 2, you're investing for the long term. Number 3, there are more bears. There are more bulls than bears. So if you're projecting for something, you should be planning for more bulls than bears. Number 4, you are in the accumulation phase. There are only 2 phases of people that are investing. You're in the accumulation phase, meaning you're trying to make money. Number 2, you are in the preserving phase, meaning that, hey, from 19 to 20, I'm trying to bag up as much money as I can. I have a $2 million nest egg, 3 million, 20 million, 50 million, or whatnot. Now I'm 50 years old. How can I live off this nest egg for the rest of my life? Those are 2 phases. And now, pretty much all of you guys that are tuning in, guys and girls that are tuning in now and in the past, you're in the accumulation phase. So you should be trying to accumulate as much money as possible, right? So JB, he said, okay, Al said, great advice on dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is buying the same thing every month, regardless of what's going on. If you got a tax return, if you came into some money, invest a little bit every month. And when the bear comes running out that cage, you invest a little bit more. That's the best advice I can give you, right? That's the concept of dollar cost averaging. If a downturn happens, it won't be more than 20 to 30% pullback, right? And if it does happen, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest straight through it. He says, keep cash on hand to average down. Now, this is my thing. This is how I like to hold my cash. What is the risk of holding cash? Everybody out there that's catching this live, what is the risk with holding cash? I got a bunch of money sitting in my portfolio in cash. What is the risk with holding cash? Comment. Think about it. Google it. I want to say it's 2 risks. 2 risks with holding cash. Because people think, hey, if I got cash, how can I lose? I got a $10,000 in my basement. That ain't going nowhere. I can't lose it. Somebody said hyperinflation. Kind of so, yeah. Hyperinflation, when inflation goes on to the other side, right? That's true. The time value of money. Alex, good one. Right? So it's 2 risks. Inflation. The price of goods and services going up each and every year without you knowing it. Rent goes up every year. The price of milk goes up every year. Boom, there you go, Al. Purchasing power of the dollar is always going down. You're losing purchasing power, meaning that what this dollar can buy today ain't too much. Like right now today, I can buy maybe 3 packs of chewing gum with this dollar, which is really not a dollar. This is some foreign money that I don't even know what country. Did a lot of traveling in the military. That's kind of sad. I don't even know what country this is. But this is a dollar. I can buy 3 packs of chewing gum today. A year from now, 2 years from now, guess what I'm going to be able to buy? Maybe 2 packs of gum. Then it's going to be 1 pack of gum. Then it's going to be, instead of getting 5 sticks of gum, I'm going to be able to get 3 sticks of gum, right? So we can see the purchasing power is going down. So you have an inflation risk. Inflation risk. When you cold cash, you lose the ability to keep up with inflation, right? Second thing, now that you can't keep up with inflation, what's the other risk? Opportunity risk. If I kept my money in cash all last year, I missed out on a 30% gain that I could have earned with the market, right? That's another thing. Opportunity risk, inflation risk. The risk of not keeping up with inflation and the risk of missing out on opportunities of the bull market. Those are 2 things with cash. So you say, Prince, how can I? Okay, Prince, you highlight the problem. What's the answer? One of the ways I get around inflation risk is I use something called, y'all write this down, Bravo Lima Victor, BLV. This is a long-term bond, right? This long-term bond pays about 3.3% in dividends, and it pays me dividends every month, right? As the market, it trades like a stock, it's an ETF that tracks long-term bonds. So I hide cash in bonds or in gold, right? Because I'm making money every month, and as the market goes up, it pretty much holds its value. When the market takes a dive, this actually goes up. The bond price goes up. So when the bond prices is shooting up, that's when I'm going to look to liquidate and sell that ETF and then get into what you call it. But in the long run, let's say the next 6 months, the market keeps roaring, I'm collecting interest off of my bonds, right? So that's one way to kind of beat or match inflation, to take away the inflation risk, right? So the other thing, opportunity risk, the only way you can get out of opportunity risk is to dollar cost average, right? So if you buy something every month, dollar cost average, that's how you can mitigate opportunity risk. I'm not here to get rid of risk, but we want to minimize it, right? And also, for cash, I like things like bonds or money market accounts. Those are things, money market accounts, bonds, long-term bonds. That's true. And I do still keep a little bit in pure cash. I mean, I can't just invest everything. I do keep a little pure cash, but it's very minimal. No more than 5 to 10%. No more than 5 to 10% is sitting in cash in an accumulation growth portfolio. That's true. But JBiz, the problem is, let's say the next dip doesn't come until November. JBiz says, I was saying instead of keeping money in a savings account, use it to keep it on hand to buy cash. I like that as well. But let's say if it takes 6 to 7 months for the next dip, and my money's sitting there in cash earning nothing. So that's why I kind of like a bond, especially with TD Ameritrade, ETrade. They have no fees. I can get in and out of bond ETFs with not being touched. So I can have a bond, keep it for 3 months, collect dividends, then see dips in the market, sell one of my ETFs, jump into the market. What do you guys and girls think about that? So anyway, I'm getting ready to head up out of here. That's the 4 things. We're going to go over them real quick. By sitting on the sideline, trying to wait to pick the bottom, you're on the losing side because most people can't actively pick the bottom, right? Most people can't pick the bottom. So guess what? Average in. Woke One, thank you for the $3.99 donation. I will use that for my foundation. So most people can't pick the bottom. Second thing is long term. I'm a long-term investor. Why do I care what's going to happen tomorrow or in a couple of months? Because If market crashes tomorrow, I'll be happy, and that means I can invest straight through the next market turn. There are more bulls. Number three, there are more bulls than bears, right? There are more bulls than bears. There are more up times in the market than down times. So why sit here and plot for the down times? When they come, rarely, and when they do come, they don't stick around too long. So I'm going to position my portfolio to ride bulls, not bears. Number four, you're in the accumulation phase. You're trying to accumulate as much money as possible. You can't let these bulls run you by, right? Number, and the secret sauce was people are worried about losing all their money. How do people lose all their money in their portfolio? One, buying on margin, buying on leverage, buying on borrowed money. One. Two, buying companies that are their growth, looking at their debt to income ratio. How much of their growth is being spurred by them borrowing money? Unprofitable, high risk companies like a Uber, a Lyft, a Tesla, they may not be able to survive through a next big economical downturn. So, but you have plenty sturdy blue chip companies, $1 trillion companies out there that you can invest in. That I'm pretty sure Berkshire Hathaway will make it through a downturn. I'm pretty sure Apple, all these $1 trillion companies can make it through, can withstand the next economical downturn. I don't know about Tesla. I don't know about Uber. I don't know about Lyft. I don't know about these hot new companies, right? So that's the way I want to think about it. Third, for all you guys, JBiz, all people that tuned in live and was commenting, catching things live, I want you guys and girls to remember, if you're not beating the index, join the index. Look at your 2019 portfolio. Look at how the index performed, and did you beat the market or not? Let that be your benchmark. Okay, Benjamin came in. All right, okay. Let's see what we got in here. Yes, TD Ameritrade Laws has a thing. Oh yeah, shout out to TD Ameritrade for watching videos. TD Ameritrade hit me up on Twitter. That was pretty nice. And they congratulated me on the educational videos and all the good stuff like that. You know, they gave me some pointers. So shout out to TD Ameritrade for tuning in. Right? TD Ameritrade, okay. By the way, P&G is expected to pop late June. They expected to pay off a settlement. Okay, I got that one down. So just used it recently, moved some of my cash into the market. Smart, right? Appreciate the time and perseverance. Okay, JBiz, appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate you. Al says, always keep in mind that savers are losers. Ooh. If you're positioned not to growing, then you're moving in a negative direction. Yes, saving is losing. You know, you don't think you're losing because you just see your money sitting there. But we know that saving money over a long period of time is not keeping up with inflation. Benjamin Israel said, I got a question for you. Question, what do you think of Box stock? I brought a $17 call option on it. Box. I never heard of Box. JB says, shout out to TD Ameritrade, the best platform. Yes, definitely. TD Ameritrade, y'all need to hit me up and do something with me one day. Y'all tell TD Ameritrade who the best one out here. They know. Okay, let's look at it. Give me a second here. I am looking up Box. Anybody know what Box is? Yeah, we need a partnership with TD Ameritrade. I know they give me. I know TD Ameritrade is like, hey, this guy's giving us free publicity and helping us open up accounts. But you know, they're the largest trading platform out there. You know, let's see here. I'm looking up this Box stock. Since you came in live and called it live, it's only right that I at least look at it. Okay, I see Boxes at $15. Okay. Oh, this is a new company. Oh, no, it's not. Hold on. So, okay, so it's been around for 5 years. $2.38 billion market cap, an unprofitable company, no dividends, or weekly high. Okay. Well, I don't know that much about it. I have to look into it. I never even heard of this company. The year-to-year revenue is up, but we'll look at it. We're going to talk some more about analyzing companies too when I do my book review. But anyway, yeah, I got to look into it. You're right. He said boxer like it can bounce. You're right, Max B, about that. We'll see. I had to look into that company. That was just a quick eyeball. But I've been on for an hour. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody that's out there. Hug and kiss your loved ones, all the good stuff. But I got to get out of here and enjoy my day. I know my wife and son. I can hear them upstairs. So I'm going to grab them something to eat. And y'all check out my last. I just did Think Tech Hawaii. Just put the video yesterday. And what was it about? Yes, taking your tax refund and looking for people always hit me up. I got a tax refund. I'm ready to invest. I want to invest. I want to invest. Appreciate it. Thanks for the subscription. Yeah, we just crossed over 28,000 not too long ago. Appreciate that. But definitely check that out. They use the green stream. That's my first time keeping the green stream. And I appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. I got to get out of here. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks, Woke One, for the donation. Check out the books. Check out the podcast. The podcast is on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you can catch it. So catch the podcast, get audio experience. Until the next, always remember, it's not about what you bring in, it's about what you take out. Shout out to Brock for that. But until the next video, podcast, cartoon, whatever y'all see me do crazy around the globe, peace, be safe. I'm out. Thank you.